Hi guys, welcome to the Rundown.
My name is Mikhala Barasa.
And I'm Danu Nziuko.
And today we are having a conversation on the finance bill. But before we get into the conversation on the finance bill 2024, we hope by the time you're watching, this is not the Finance Act because we know Kenyans are fast. But before we get into that, it's been a while since we shot an episode.
Yes, so we've missed you guys. Oh, thank you for the 123 subscribers.
I know.
Yes.
Imagine 123 of you are following us.
Yes.
So we are so
excited.
Flattered.
Yes. So tell a friend to tell the other friend to subscribe to the channel.
Yes. And post us in groups. Hi, my church people. Those people post us in groups. Please post us in groups. Tell a friend. We have interesting conversations on this channel. So today we are diving into the Finance Bill 2024. And I'm just going to read something I got from the internet. According to the opinion poll conducted by InfoTrack between 25th May and 29th May 2024, I don't know if we are allowed to say the names, 77% of Kenyans said the finance bill will not have a positive impact on the economy. 8 out of 10 Kenyans are opposed to the introduction of new taxes on bread, cooking oil, financial services, motor vehicles, a new levy on environmentally friendly products, and a new opinion poll has shown, full stop. That's the end of my quote. So it looks like Kenyans are not very happy about what the finance bill is talking about. Mm-hmm. Now, today we are going to drink from the well of wisdom of Ndanu because I know she feels very passionately about this finance bill. Today, I'll just let her take the lead and ask questions. I'll just ask you questions. So which areas of the finance bill do you want to discuss with us today?
So today we're going to be looking at the key changes for the finance bill. So basically what usually happens every year when the CS for Treasury goes to Parliament with the finance bill, there are certain acts that are normally amended, such as the Income Tax Act, the Value Added Tax Act, Excise Duty Act, and other miscellaneous tax laws and regulations are usually amended in one bill. So this bill will have an effect on several acts of parliament if it's passed as it is. Yeah. So I think those are the key areas that we're going to be looking at today. So where do we start? Which one do you like?
Tuanzie na income. Hapo kwenye pesa inakuja hapo. Let's start with hapo kwa pesa. Income tax kwanza. Let's deal with the income tax act.
Okay. So, well, unfortunately for the guys for pay, there hasn't been much on pay. I know the people who their tax bracket had gone to 32.5 and 35 were probably hoping for better days.
A reprieve.
Yeah. I'm not so sure if you're going to get it. But the income tax focused a lot on corporations, making certain changes on especially the digital space, because there's been a lot of growth in the digital space. So the government is looking to tap into that.
To have a part of that cookie.
Yes. Yeah. So those are some of the key areas that have affected the Income Tax Act. So I'll start the first one that has been quite a big issue with a lot of people, especially the middle class. That's the motor vehicle tax. So the government is proposing to introduce a motor vehicle tax at a rate of 2.5% of the value of your vehicle. So every year when you're renewing your motor insurance during valuation, besides your 6%, I think most insurance companies right now for comprehensive are charging 6%. So on top of the 6%, you'll pay 2.5% tax.
Okay.
Yes.
So now I have questions. First question is, will that money be loaded to your insurance cover? Like, how is the government intending to collect that money? Are we clear on that?
Yes.
Or are we very Kenyan about it? We don't even know it will be collected yet.
No, I think the government had during when they first brought in the affordable housing, they didn't have a clear framework about how they were going to do it, which brought a lot of problems. They now brought about the Affordable Housing Act. So this time they are very clear about how they are going to collect all this money. So the first thing is the insurance companies are the ones who are going to be collecting that motor vehicle tax on behalf of the government.
Okay.
So if an insurance company does not collect, they'll be penalized.
So the insurer will be penalized for not collecting a tax?
Yes.
Okay, I have another question. So now, because our insurance covers are going to increase, and you know the way insurers are, let me tell you, you know the value of my car rose this year.
What?
My car appreciated in value by my insurance valuation. I don't understand it.
Okay, and you're thinking,
I'm like, surely isn't this a depreciating asset? Everybody knows.
But I think some of the vehicles appreciated in the last year because of some of the taxes that were introduced, which caused the appreciation of some vehicles. Is it really an appreciation, or is it because of
of evaluation?
I don't know. Let me not get into this.
I also didn't get into my insurer because I was like, sitaki kunyimwa insurance.
Yes.
But then what happens if I take that TPO, third party only insurance?
Now that's the part that is not very clear about what is going to happen, because it seems that even the people who take TPO are also supposed to pay the motor vehicle tax. So it's whether you're on comprehensive or TPO, you're supposed to pay it. So because I think at first when the bill first came out, people were saying they'll all move to TPO.
But I think they'll now make valuation mandatory. They might make valuation mandatory.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So I think there's a bit of a gray area that's going to be clarified. But I think also the 2.5 is a bit steep.
Right.
That's quite steep. And then secondly, looking at the fact that, as you've said, it's a depreciating asset. It's not an asset that is generating income for me. So why am I paying a tax on it? It doesn't even make sense for it to be under the income tax act.
Exactly.
Because am I making money?
It's not an income generating asset.
Yeah. So I think there's been quite a lot of debate around it. So fingers crossed that it will not be passed.
I know.
Akimi,
judiciary, please. The only working entity of government. Then the next one.
The next one is the repeal of the digital service tax.
I'm curious about that. Explain to us that one like I'm 2 years old.
Like you're 2 years old. Okay. So previously, all digital service providers were paying a digital service tax, which was at what percent? I can't remember what percentage it was. But basically, any of these apps or online portals that were giving services digitally, like Akina Facebook, Instagram, were paying a digital service tax. Yeah. So now they're going to remove it and now introduce an economic presence tax.
Okay.
At a rate of 30%.
Oh my God.
So it's similar like to an income tax.
Okay. So is this the reason why there was that post on TV saying Uber and Bolt cab hailing services are likely to leave? Yes.
So that's would be part of the impact of that economic presence tax, because what they're looking to do is any digital service provider that is a foreigner, a non-Kenyan, is going to be subjected to this economic presence tax.
Okay.
So by virtue of the fact that you're a foreigner who is operating a digital service platform in Kenya, then you'll be subjected to that 30%.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I think that is going to be a bit hectic for them, because you see there's still other taxes that are due to them, like VAT. Yeah, things like that. So either they'll have to increase the cost of their services, which won't make sense, because I think a lot of these service providers like Bolt, Uber, part of their selling point is the affordability.
Exactly, yes.
So now if they have to increase the cost of their services, then it won't make sense.
It won't make economic sense for them.
Exactly, yeah.
And my favorite service provider just came back to Kenya. They want to return them.
Oh, Safe Boda. Hey.
Unataka kurudisha Safe Boda Uganda. Please don't do this to me.
So, unataka kutoa ushuhuda?
Wacha tu. Hiyo ni story for another.
Nitawaita mchango ya kununulia mihala bodaboda.
Kibo bike.
Hata uko na brand.
Niko na brand. Najua yenye nataka. Mimi tu sasa naweza wapatia false marketing hapa, but I know what I want. Stan angekuwa ameweka hapa hiyo picha sahi.
Yeah. So mchanga nitawaita
Mchanga.
soon. Hapo sawa.
Like Ndanu.
Yeah. So yes, that's going to be quite have a huge impact on the digital space. So I think it will also affect other, not just the cab hailing services, even the entertainment space. For example, Netflix, Showmax. Yes, Showmax is South African. Yeah. Sorry. It's okay. It's okay.
Haki zako wewe.
Yaani hata nimeshota jina yake sasa ni zake.
Zako wewe haki.
Yeah. So I think that will also have an impact on that space, which is sad because I think a lot of the Kenyan content creators have really grown in that space.
In that space.
Yeah, especially like Showmax. There's
I
a lot of
know,
Kenyan content.
shows.
Yeah, on Showmax.
So, I'm watching, I'll tell you about it. I like it.
So yeah, if some of these platforms will exit the Kenyan market, it will be very sad. I think, well, not to sound like I am condoning corruption, not.
Ongeza sauti ya mic hapa this part.
Yeah, I am not condoning corruption, but if there were Kenyan companies that were offering similar services or products that the government is trying to boost, then it would make sense.
Yes.
You get what I mean? If there was an equivalent of Netflix and Showmax that will not bring for us movies for 1922, you know, that are trying to make it in the Kenyan market, and that's what the government is trying to help them grow. Because I think sometimes when there are a lot of foreign companies in Kenya in a certain space, it's very difficult for the local.
It stifles the local production of such.
Exactly.
Such
so if that's what they are looking at, then it would make sense.
But Kenyan actors and like the entertainment industry, it's quote unquote thriving on Showmax and doing not too badly on
it is.
Like we could do better, but do we have a comparative service?
No, we don't. Yeah, we probably don't. So if they all exit the Kenyan market, then that will also have a ripple effect on the creative economy. Yeah. So I think that's something we had mentioned. In the future, we'll be doing an episode on the creative economy in Kenya. I think it's very interesting.
Atakuja kwa.
Yeah,
Stan, will you come and Monique, will you? Yes. They've agreed. This is on camera. Consent. Okay. So the next tax.
So the next tax is the family trusts. So first of all, okay. So there are two things. So the government is saying that any registered trust in Kenya will be subject to income tax. So that also now has an impact on family trusts. So family trusts previously were exempt from income tax.
Yeah.
So now they're going to be subject to the income tax. Yeah. So I think that a lot of people have been using the family trusts for succession planning. So when you have a few assets and businesses that you want to consolidate together for your family in the event of your demise, then that will have an impact on your now the income tax will have an impact on them. So I'm not sure, to some extent I feel like there will be a bit of double taxation.
Yes,
on the trust.
And it will kind of deter people from now registering more trust.
Yes.
Because I'll be like, let the business just operate.
Exactly.
They pay the tax on the business, or on the asset, on the car, and then still let it be in the trust.
Exactly.
Like it's be held in trust, and I'll still pay income tax.
Exactly. Yeah.
I get a double taxation.
So it feels a bit of that. People, I think a lot of companies are getting some, especially in the financial services space, are getting some legal opinion from tax lawyers on that, because it may have quite an impact on the financial services space, especially on investments industry, banking, because they're the ones who help operationalize a lot of those trusts. Yeah, so I think there's quite a bit of discussion around that space about what's going to be the impact, or if that aspect of the bill is actually passed. Yeah. So let's wait and see what's going to happen.
Thank God I'm not a family trust lawyer, because hey, where
But nasikia iko na pesa.
iko na pesa, lakini imagine now having to tell your client, oh, sasa from now on. I don't know if it will apply retrospectively.
I don't think so. I don't think it will apply.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Because that's a hard conversation. You don't have hard conversations with people. Si bado fee yako inalipwa.
No. I don't have hard conversations, but within things that me and him as the client we can control.
I get you.
So you really don't have to.
You don't have, yeah.
To try and punch someone in the face.
Oh, yeah. Those are the things you want to tell your clients.
Easy things.
Okay.
Not at the government imesema itachukua na hakuna kitu tunajua.
I get you. Yeah. So also on the family trust, they will also be they will be subjected to income tax, or they're calling it gains on the transfer of immovable property to a family trust. Yes. So immovable property are the physical assets, like a building, land. Yes. So when you're transferring any immovable asset or property to a family trust, the family trust will be subjected to income tax, because that's the government is looking at it as a gain for the trust. Yes. Then something else, infrastructure bond. Now going forward, it will not apply retrospectively.
Going forward,
any infrastructure bond that the government releases, it's going to be subjected to income tax as well. Previously, they were tax exempt, but now serikali imeona mnatengeneza
pesa nyingi, like on our backs.
15%. Ati unaweka mita alafu kaia unapata 150k. Hey, ona Zakayo hapati kitu.
Zak is like, hi, this sounds like
pesa ulikuwa umemloan.
Sounds like it will be lucrative for both of us.
Yeah.
Chapa yeka tax. Niwachie kitu kwa
tukikulipa interest yako kamata nini tuachie ka kitu. So yeah, I think that now will have an impact on the in the investment space. Yeah, because it will reduce the returns just a bit because of that income tax.
Oh, and she's also very comfortable talking about the investment space because she works in the investments. Oh, just so you guys know. Continue, please. We're going to Value-Added Tax Act, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. VAT is Value-Added Tax, in case you didn't know.
Yes, VAT is Value-Added Tax. So now on VAT. So I like how VAT, when you researching about VAT, or like when you are learning about VAT, consumption tax. Yani, you are being taxed for consuming. Yeah. Kwa nini unakula?
Kwa nini unanunua?
Kwa nini unanunua hizo vitu? So because umeamua kutumia pesa, tutakutax.
Tumia pesa ikuzoea inamaanisha hivi eti kumbe. Has a different meaning.
So the first thing about the VAT, now it's coming in to formalize some of the tax procedures that KRA has been trying to enforce, which is the electronic tax invoices. Yes. So the first thing is that now it's going to be in law in the Tax Procedures Act that every business is going to be expected to give electronic tax invoice. So sijui kama Stan ako na ATM. Nimekuwa nikimwongelesha.
Stan unajua wacha tusiongee mambo ya Stan. Unajua Stan is a darling of men with his tax.
So I say, yeah, no matter how big or small your business is, itabidi mumeregister ATMs. There have also been a lot of complaints about people not receiving their payments on time because of e-Teams invoices. Yeah, because right now a lot of companies are not
yes.
paying if you don't give that
Exactly,
the e-Teams
yes.
invoice. Yeah, so I think that's something all businesses are trying to comply right now. So yeah, I think if you're having challenges,
McLean.
Yeah. In one of our previous episodes, we
have a tax consultant.
Yes. So just reach out to us. We will link you with the tax consultant. Yeah. So the other thing is on betting, gaming, and lottery services. So now they will be subjected to the standard VAT rate of 16%. Yeah. So anything in the betting industry, 16%, and gaming, 16% VAT. And okay, this is a reprieve for small businesses. The threshold for VAT registration has been increased. So previously it was 5M if you have a turnover of 5 million. If this bill is passed, it will be increased to 8 million. Yeah. So now at least you can breathe. If your turnover is 5M,
below,
you can breathe. Actually, 8M and below.
8M and below, yeah.
Yes, you can breathe.
8M and below.
Yeah. Then the other thing is the transfer of a business as a going concern. So if you're selling your business and it's a going concern, at the time that you're selling it.
It's a what?
Going concern.
Okay, explain to what going concern.
So a going concern, it means that it is liquid. It's a company that is paying its obligations.
Hey, unafanya freestyle ndani ya pesa. That's basically what you're telling us.
Yeah, leo ni kampuni iko na pesa.
Iko na kakitu.
Okay. Balance sheet iko negative. Yeah. So if it's a company that is not insolvent, then you're transferring it as a going concern, it will be exempt from VAT. Yes. So, but you need to prove to KRA that it was a going concern.
That sounds like a trick. I don't like that having to prove to. Okay, you have to prove to KRA for sure, but now they'll know your books properly.
Of course. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah. Kill him to angle. Zach na kill him.
Watu wa KRA walali.
Walali hao watu.
Treasury, they're not sleeping. KPIs za Zach lazima wa meet. So there are certain exemptions on VAT that are going to be repealed. So there were some exemptions, one in the financial services space that are going to be repealed. So issuing of credit and debit cards was not subject to VAT. Now they're going to be subject to VAT.
Because you remember, maybe you were too young for this.
Wow.
But when I was younger, these people from Coop Bank came to our campus and they issued us with it. I don't even think we paid for those ATM cards. They were accounts and then they gave us. So that means that they can no longer do that because at the very least you have to pay like something for the 16%.
Exactly, yeah. So kama ilikuwa 500 sasa. I think for most banks it used to be 500.
Yeah.
Open an account. No, yeah. It may go up a little bit because of the 16%. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember, but I was not. It's okay.
I know.
Yes. So money transfer services. So telegraphic money transfer services will also be subject to VAT. Foreign exchange transactions. So these are basically any transactions where you're changing money from one currency to another. Yes. It will be subject to VAT. Yeah. Okay. So that will also have a huge impact, especially for the banking sector. Yeah, hapa banking sector
wamechezwa
hapa kidogo, wakaone zakayo kando. Again, I do not condone
watamongelesha tu, wataguza kitu.
Please, I'm just saying, I do not condone corruption. Kama mkubwa wenyu wa inaitanga juu association ya bankers
Kenya
Bankers, yes.
Kenya Bankers Association.
Mkubwa atembelee tu State House kidogo.
Aenda fanye benchmarking and lobbying sana.
Hapa wamewezwa The next one is check handling and processing. It's also going to be subject to
16%.
yes.
Na kama nataka withdraw 3-5 from my account.
Shauri. Sasa unajua, okay, but ni check handling.
Okay.
Checks, I think the rates at which people have been using checks has gone down, especially post-COVID.
I know, but hey, okay, sawa. Acha ni unajua pia my age might start showing. My age might start showing.
Oh, naelewa. Yeah. Then provision of financial services on behalf of another on a commission basis. This one will have an impact, especially on the insurance side. Yeah, because the insurance agents are normally paid on commission. So I think their commissions are likely to be subject to VAT. Yes. So imagine umeuza polisi ya 50k. So you're getting 5k. 5k but you got 16%. Ama umeuza TPO tax.
7.5
ka 750 kako
16%
plus withholding.
That just sounds wrong.
Yeah. Sasa Stan amefikiwa. VAT
take it away. VAT on bread,
Yes. So the bill proposes to implement the standard VAT of 16% on bread. Mkate. Basic mkate. Hata sijui, sina maoni.
Hapo hata pia mimi sina ushuhuda.
Sina maoni. Lastly, insurance and reinsurance premiums. So the bill proposes to limit VAT exemption on insurance and reinsurance services to insurance and reinsurance premiums. So all other reinsurance and insurance services will be subject to VAT.
So premiums pekee.
So if the insurance company offers any other service,
16%.
16%, yes. Exactly. But anyway, what other service do insurance companies offer?
Vitu za claims. Ama claims handling, repayment.
Yeah.
MSPs. Kulipa MSPs. Lakini nani asifike hiyo side.
Asiangalie tusiseme na sauti kubwa.
Tuseme na sauti kubwa anaweza pata ideas.
Yes. So the other area before we close is excise duty. Excise duty is a simple tax. So basically, excise duty is mainly has an impact on the cost of production of goods and services. Yeah. So the proposed changes in the Excise Duty Act. The first one is money transfer services. Watu wenye tuliacha kuwithdraw pesa. Tumeshikwa. Leo tumekamatwa. So excess duty on money transfer services is going to be increased from 15% to 20%. So M-Pesa, bank to bank, whatever.
So it's 15-20% of fees.
Yes.
The fees charged.
Of the fees charged.
Okay.
Then internet data. So the bill proposes to remove the provision on relief received by manufacturers of accessible goods and providers of internet data services on excess duty paid for raw material used in the manufacture of finished products and purchase of bulk internet data. Hapo I hope mmenielewa na hiyo kizungu yote.
Ni nyingi hata pia mimi hapo nimepotea for a bit.
Okay. So so the companies that produce internet data. I don't know how to describe it.
It's supply.
Yes. Thanks. Yeah. So the raw materials that they use in terms of that for the supply of internet data were previously exempt from excess duty. Yes. So now the government is proposing to introduce VAT on those raw materials. Yes. So that is likely to increase the cost of internet data in the country.
Hey,
Yeah.
tunakwambia 20 shillings for 1 GB for 1 hour. Hey, nakupungu.
I know. Employers will be happy. What spend less time on phone.
And then also they might want to go back to the office because
by the way, to me internet employer.
Because
Because manze, internet shida. Digital platform. So for digital platforms, the bill proposes to introduce 20% excess duty to be charged on services, digital services or digital platforms offered by non-Kenyan residents. So this could be telephone and internet data services, fees charged on mobile transfer services, gaming, betting, etc., and fees on digital lending. So any non-Kenyan offering these digital services will be subject to the 20%. Haya, walevi.
Tunajua mama wanaochi chama. Wenye dhambi. Wenye dhambi.
Nimeanza kunini.
Wenye dhambi.
No, ndani niko. I am happy for the industry.
For the industry,
for the economy.
Yeah.
What you do
because
for
it's
the
a
economy.
sin tax.
Yeah.
Because it's a sin tax.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Sin as in dhambi. You see? Ujui?
Sasa wacha ni change basi point.
Sasa wacha nikuulize swali. Kama najua wewe sio mlevi. Lakini kama ungekuwa mlevi, explain from that perspective.
But
imagine you are
sasa from hii yangu, the excitement was like if I'm a business person in that space that is producing alcohol, there will be duty remission for spirits. So this bill proposes to give the CS for Treasury the power to grant excise duty remission, yani kutoa excise duty for spirits manufactured from agricultural products except barley.
So unaweza tengeneza spirit kutoka kwa nini? Kwa barley kweli nayo pia. Anyway, it's fine.
I don't know how
unaweza itengeneza then uite spirit beer.
But cha muhimu ni agricultural products grown in Kenya.
Okay.
So if you're producing your spirits from agricultural products grown in Kenya, then the CS can give you an exemption on VAT. Yes. Get creative, guys. Mi nilikuwa tu nafurahia opportunity.
Yeah. She's that kind of person.
So new opportunity for the farmers, opportunity for the manufacturers. Yeah. Thanks.
Amen.
Okay. So the other area, so bado tuko on
excise duty.
Yeah, no, on sin products.
On sin products.
Yes. Okay. So the bill proposes to increase the period licensed manufacturers of alcoholic beverages are required to account for excess duty from 24 hours to 5 working days.
Okay.
Yes. So that's also a reprieve for that industry. Yes. Because previously it was an accounting headache for
them to do
24 hours.
I remember that being a big discussion last year, actually.
Yes. And then now, lastly, advertisement of sin products.
Wait, let's go back to that other story for 5 days.
Yes.
I think there's another amendment also that exempts what? It exempts public holidays and weekends.
Yes.
For counting for a tax period.
For a tax period,
yeah.
Yes. So that's under the tax procedures.
Yes, that's now under tax procedures amendment. Which again, if you're a manufacturer of an alcoholic product, kama ni Wednesday, unajua uko napaka
paka Monday sasa. Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's good. Under the tax procedures, we'll come back to the last point on VAT. Under the tax procedures, there have been some amendments in terms of how KRA is going to be operating. So how they are counting the days. They will be counting working days.
Yes. But that is how we count days ata uko kwa nini kwa demand letter. Ukiambiwa 7 days jwe
ni 7 working days.
You don't
KRA wako hivyo. Alafu pia they've put a timeline for responses. So when you make an application to KRA, there is a timeline, I think 14 days for something like that. I'll confirm for them to respond to you. So then at least if your application has been rejected, when it doesn't put you in a situation where unashindanga hapo times huko.
Niliambiwa nitafute registrar floor number 19 floor.
Unazungushwa times tower yote.
Unajaza steps za siku lakini una response.
Yes. So there's going to be a timeline. So that's good in terms of customer service. That will improve their customer service because now they'll be expected to adhere to a turnaround time for taxpayers. Okay. So lastly is the advertisement of SIM products. So the bill proposes to introduce excise duty at a rate of 15% on fees charged for internet and social media advertisements relating to alcoholic beverages, betting, gaming, lotteries, and prize competition.
Okay. Yes. I think the financial services industry and the betting, lotteries, and gaming facilities or institutions have gotten the short end of the stick with this one.
Yeah. Wamepewa nini? Hiyo ya agricultural product.
So unataka kusema because mtu anatengeneza Spiro na Muguka itamsaidia
wase wa Jamba juice. Wama Jamba juice alcoholic.
Sijui. We are Christians. We don't partake in those things. How would we know? Lakini tunaweza discuss tukienda
after shoot. After shoot.
You can inquire.
But they come to think of it. Does it fall under there? Because it's an agricultural product.
Exactly.
And it's become a hit. Yeah, it's become a hit. So you should confirm. The partakers.
The manufacturers. Sisi tunasema tu.
Yeah, they should confirm if it's going to be part of this. Yeah, because it's an agricultural product in Kenya. Okay. But might not be alcoholic.
We don't have anything else?
Yeah. So I think that's it. Unless there's something that you remember on the tax procedure.
No.
Yeah.
Today I said I was drinking from your well of wisdom.
Oh, thank you.
Because I kind of feel like you were a bit passionate about this when we were preparing for this conversation. I said, watch it.
Ni venye inauma. Mkenya wa kawaida anaumia.
So I said, let her take it away.
Yeah.
But it's been very lovely hanging out with you guys. Please ask us questions in the comment section. Brian, our social media manager, Guy, is going to run a poll on our Instagram about how you feel about this episode and some questions around it. Please engage us. Thank you for always engaging us. Do you have anything else to our audience?
No. Thank you for being here with us. And we really enjoy sharing our knowledge with you guys.
Talking to you guys about this. Until we see you guys next time. Bye.